Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode of the Now You Know podcast by Laser Hill Academy.
Here, we aim to talk about issues around the world and how they affect us as teenagers. In short, to inform, educate, and inspire.
Our main topics today are what President Ruto has achieved so far, the high cost of living, the benefits of Russian sanctions to African oil producers, and last but not least, the hijab regulations in Iran.
In our first topic, we're questioning what His Excellency President Ruto has done with his few days in office. Here to talk about this topic is Christian Mdivo.
One of the promises His Excellency made was that he was going to launch 2 million houses built all over Kenya and mainly in slums such as Kibera in the term of 5 years that he's going to serve in Kenya. On the 27th of October 2022, he saw in his new cabinet secretaries.
As we all know, the world is experiencing very high costs of living. This is not only because of the COVID-19 virus that started in 2020, but also because of the Ukraine and Russia war. Here to speak about this topic more is myself and Tyra Yahidi.
The COVID-19 pandemic and the Ukrainian war has had a huge impact in Kenya. Over 80% of Kenyans are complaining on the high cost of living. The staple food, ugali, is now 200 shillings, of which one single Kenyan would use that to spend on a whole meal. Not to mention, oil has risen by 33% from 2021 to 2022.
The high costs of living have also affected us as teenagers. Do you agree with me, Tyra?
I agree completely, Jabali. But for it to affect us as teenagers, it also needs to affect our parents. How? School fees has become a major problem. Textbooks and also school uniform.
Some students get kicked out of school and they end up missing exams. And now a problem of this is that it interrupts the normal learning program of the school.
In addition to that, textbooks are a crucial part of learning, and it's very hard for a learner to excel when they do not have textbooks.
With this high cost of living, many teenagers and youthful people may result to petty crime as a way of making fast money. The current economic situation can also result in broken families. This can come about if a parent feels that taking care of a family is too much pressure under these economic conditions, or if another parent feels that their needs or the needs of their children are not being taken care of.
And in such cases, you may find that the child is the one that suffers the most. So I would like to ask my co-host Jabali, what do you think would be the solution of the current problem?
Well, Tyra, all these products that have risen and are more expensive, the reason they're rising is because of the high cost of oil. And as we know, Russia and Saudi Arabia are the largest oil producers in the world. But now, due to sanctions from the European Union and other countries like America, these countries are not allowed to sell their oil to these other countries like America and the UK, etc. Therefore, I think the solution to our problem lies in Africa. As we know, Africa has several countries that produce oil and good amounts of it. Countries like Nigeria, countries like Angola, and countries like Algeria are all oil producers. Therefore, what we would need is these countries to produce their oil and sell it to the world market at a cheaper price to help reduce the cost of these other items. Next, we would like to talk about the hijab regulations in Iran. Here to talk about this topic is Abigail Nyabonyi and her fellow journalist Yomi Njoroge.
As we are all aware, Iran is an Islamic country. This therefore makes it difficult for women of other religions to live in it, be it the lifestyle, education, and much more, which is controlled by the government. This has been a really shocking scene for people around the world as women protest without their hijabs on and they chant, "Death to the dictator." This is no small feat, as taking off your hijab is a punishable offense and can land you in jail. The key question is, why are these women risking arrest? What is bringing on all of this grief? To answer this, let's talk about the death of Amini.
Amini died on the 19th of September 2022. Police claim she suffered a heart attack in the police station. But many women claim this to be false information as they're beaten and harassed upon their arrest. These women believe this to be the reason why Amini slept into a coma and eventually died. This clearly explains why many women are coming out to protest. Many of them are coming out protesting in different ways. Some are burning down their headscarves, while others have gone to an extent of cutting down their hair.
The question today remains, is the government going to reinforce the regime or break it?
In our new mini segment, we have a fun pop culture section where we talk about fun things in the world that we think you should know about. Here to talk about it is Harriet Amelia.
Adidas ends contract with artist Kanye West over anti-Semitic remarks made, which knocked him off the Forbes list of billionaires. The company stated that they do not tolerate anti-Semitic or any other form of hate speech. They immediately began removing Yeezy Gap products from their store and shut down the yeezygap.com website.
Is the third time finally the charm for the new government of the UK? Tyra Yahidi will expound on this.
The UK has had a total of 3 prime ministers this year. Boris Johnson, who was appointed in late 2019, was impeached due to the breaking of COVID-19 restrictions, of which he implemented himself. The second Prime Minister, Liz Truss, announced her resignation after only serving 44 days in office. The reason behind her resignation was deemed to be her incapability to carry out the promises she had for the British people. Following this event, Rishi Sunak, the now third Prime Minister on our list, an Indian man born in Southampton in 1980 of Kenyan descent. Although his time in office has been brief, he has been met with a lot of backlash. One man stating, "England being made up of white people being the majority race, it is important that we are reflected by our Prime Minister." However, despite all this, he has been able to inspire countless others, showing that no matter where you come from, your background, your race, your religion, you can thrive in any country and any profession.
Hello, my name is Tyrese Suri. I am an A-level student in Laser Hill Academy, located in Ongata Rongai. I joined Laser Hill back in October of 2021, just after a midterm at the time, I believe. It was actually my mom that found out about it. I knew nothing about it because at that time we were looking for a school to take me to, and my mom came back home with a leaflet for the school that she got from the institution itself, telling me about, hey, I found a school I can take you to. It's called Laser Hill. It's all the way in Rongai. And what baffled me about it was the fact that it was a boarding school, and this would be my first time in a boarding school. Of course, it has a day school system where you can come and learn for the day and go back home, but she was taking me to boarding because I live pretty far from Ongata Rongai. So at first I was nervous. However, the boarding experience actually has been a pretty swell experience. Did it meet my expectations? I would say yes, because personally I did not expect much about the school at all. I was mostly just curious to just see the school at first when I was initially brought here for an interview, and I was shown around the whole facility. It had very nice facilities and I was pretty content with it. I'm like, if this is the school I'm joining, then this is a very good school. I guess this is the place to be. Experience around has been a very positive experience. The school is bustling with a variety of vibrant personalities and quite a bit of co-curricular activities to take part in here and there. So it's been a very good experience so far. Just to name a few, there's sports such as football, basketball. I hear there's a rugby team in the making. There is drama as well, in case you are an artsy kind of student. There is a music band starting to be formed pretty soon. So that's just to name a few on top of the many. Journalism was where it began here with me. I was never part of such a club in any other of my former schools, and I can pretty much say that the Journalism Club is a very amazing club, full of amazing people and memories to make. My relationship with my teachers is actually a very good and very positive, friendly type of relationship with my teachers. We get along very swimmingly. I am never on the bad side of any teacher, and every time we meet each other, we can share a little joke or two, and it's a very great and outgoing, healthy relationship. What else do I do when I'm not in class? I don't do too much in particular, but when I'm not in class, I do like to involve myself with exercising in the field a bit by taking a few laps. That's what I do personally. I do like to draw in my spare time as well. And yeah, that's what I do outside of class. Yes, I believe Lazy Hill does give you the opportunity to give yourself a platform and express yourself, especially with the co-curricular activities that we just named. It gives you a voice in a way you can express yourself. And of course, our sporting talents here in basketball and football, if they excel, they're even given scholarships. So who's to say that you're not given one? What would I tell to someone is there is a school all the way in Ongatsurungai called Lazy Hill Academy. It's a very good school to be at. I would recommend them to come here to Lazy Hill.
Thank you so much for watching our podcast. I've been your host, Jabali Mwakio.
And I've been your host, Andrea Neil. Until next time, bye.